Ready to go through a little educational process? Feeling good about the world? Chew bubblegum, kick butt, all that good stuff, right? Take names. All the cliches that say I'm ready to do this. I hope so. Welcome to the education room. It is an education room. It's for informational purposes. This is not a room where I tell you when to enter the market. It's not a room where I tell you to exit the market. What I do each and every day is I hand you a plan, and that plan helps you learn to read your indicators, helps you learn to take this T3 software, to see the advantages in front of you, and then to turn those advantages into a trade, guys. And chart reading is about 90% of what we do each and every day. Successful trading is boring. I'm going to tell you that right now. Successful trading is not an exciting lifestyle. What's exciting is what you can do with the money you make as a professional trader. Good morning, Miss Trina. Did you like that? I had you on my brain when I was making those pictures. I actually turned them into a PowerPoint that we'll do today because it's a really common concept, that idea of the broken area. So I did a lot of study yesterday on it, did a little more study this morning, created a PowerPoint. That's going to be part of the day. Guys, all I have to know is what you need help with. I'll find a way to turn it into a lesson. So good. I'm glad you like that. Guys, once you learn to read your indicators, and it won't take you long if you keep it focused and you keep it simple, but once you learn to read your indicators, you're going to understand some very key concepts. You're going to understand where the market is likely to continue. Now, when I say likely to continue, what I mean is that the market has already presented a trend. It's in the direction. It has momentum. Everything says it's likely to go up or down. Hey, good morning, OG. Are you getting sound now? We good? I like it. And then you will pinpoint right where the market's going to do a little fluctuation, do a little head fake, bounce, continue with the direction. That becomes an entry. You'll understand where the market is likely to go, not guaranteed to go, not obligated to go, not definite gonna go, but you'll understand where the market is likely to go based on the advantages you see. That's going to help you with targets. And then finally, you'll understand where the market is likely to stop. And these likely to stop areas are what we call termination conditions, guys. And this is one of the biggest challenges most traders have. You'll see a spot. You'll be able to say out loud, this is an area that could stop the market. And then you're going to have to figure out how to pull the reins, how to say, okay, I'm not going to trade into this area. These likely to stop areas really do become the 90%. The approach has been the same for the last 6 years, guys. We're going to learn some rules. We're going to talk about the rules for what we call high probability trend trades. This is a trade that when you take it, you'll be able to study it, you'll be able to repeat it, you'll be able to understand it, and you'll be able to prove that it wins more than it loses. Now, the idea that it wins more than it loses lets you know that it creates an edge. It gives you an advantage, a statistical advantage. So if I take this trade per the rules 100 times, I'm likely to win 70 or 80 of them. But I'm also likely to lose 20 to 30 of them, guys. And there is no predicting the win-loss dispersion. So we're going to focus on consistency of the method. In TradingView, that's your Ninja Trader high probability trend trade. In TradingView, once again, it's only 3 rules. When you learn to follow these rules, when you learn to take this entry, you guys have presented in the room that you seem to be winning right around that 70% range, which means that every 100 trades you take, you're likely to lose 30. You don't know which 30 it's going to be. You don't know if it's going to be the first 2, the last 2, the middle 8, whatever. You don't know. So consistency is the key. So learn the rules. Let that be your focus initially. Learn how to identify those 3 rules. They only take 2 charts to do it. Whether it is Ninja Trader, it only takes 2 charts. There's a big chart and there's a small chart. Your large chart gives you the advantages. Your large chart tells you which direction the market is moving. The large chart lets you know if momentum is on your side. The large chart will identify areas that could be problematic. Your first two rules on NinjaTrader are met on a large chart. Your small chart is nothing more than an entry chart. It's a refinement chart. In TradingView, it's only two charts. It's a different look. These are minute bars. These are Renko bars. Renko bars move a lot faster than minute bars, guys. Your large chart on TradingView is a 15-minute chart. It still defines direction. It'll still let you know about the momentum, and it'll still let you know about the areas that could stop the market. Your entry chart is a 1-minute chart. And that 1-minute chart is much, much faster. And that 1-minute chart is just where you're going to define your entry points and make sure you're not fighting the immediate strength in the market. Now, we use two charts on both platforms. They're like a representation of who's in charge, guys. Who are you trading with? Who are you trading against? The large chart defines direction. When the people in charge want the market to go up, that's what it does. You're not in control, they are. When they provide the momentum we need to feel good about looking for the next rule, that's what the large crowd does. They also react at key areas. So large chart typically wins. Large crowd typically wins. The methodology is designed to keep you in tune with the large chart, trading with the large chart, embracing the large chart advantages. Your small chart, it's just fighters. It's the ne'er-do-wellers. When the large chart says up, your small chart, you're going to see down. And your brain's going to say, oh my gosh, there's a reversal in trend. There's not. It's a small push that's counter to everything the large chart says. We rely on these fights because they take us back to the perfect entry. And those entries allow us to reduce risk and they allow us to maximize profitability. So we're going to do NinjaTrader and TradingView. How many new people do I have in here? I want to ask, do we need a 101 class this morning? Do we need to go through the basics start to finish? Because I am 100% willing to do it. I've got a PowerPoint that takes us through both platforms, the very, very basics. I'm seeing some old names back. I don't know if I have new names. Okay, we're going to do it. Guys, everybody in the room has the ability to simulate. Simulator is where you create the muscle memory to be able to perform under pressure. Simulator is where you practice your rules so that they become second nature. Simulator has zero loss risk. It's a video game where you're learning how to do what you're going to do when it's real. You can post in my room, and this is the first step in becoming a confident trader ASAP. So when you post in my room, you're going to get a private session. And that private session is designed to give you feedback on your chart read. So if you're a ninja trader, the rules for a high probability trend trade, the rules for the perfect trade mean that you have momentum because of strong triggers, that you have a clear path because there are no termination conditions, and then you have a clearly defined entry area right inside of triggers. And guys, the three advantages create the edge. And the edge is what puts the probabilities on your side. So when you take a NinjaTrader trade, I want you to tell me what you saw in regards to momentum. And as you're learning the rules and you're learning to read your charts, don't just say strong triggers. Talk about why they're strong triggers, guys. Strong triggers means that when the background is red and the trend is down, my small triggers are below my large triggers. There's space between the two. The colors match. That's the look of strength. In an uptrend, it's the exact same, but going opposite, everything is green. Point it out. Talk about it. Why is it strong? What rule is met? And guys, when you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to create this neurological connection between what your eyes see and how it translates into the advantage that you need. Next, you're going to talk about your path. Is it 100% clear? Does it only have the potential? Is it a termination? And this one, the price has not reached support down here. 3 triggers are through the previous area, which means that that previous area only has the potential to break. manage a bit more assertively. And when I write this on the chart, I know how I'm going to manage this trade before I ever take an entry. Entries are taking a pullback, that little fight by the small crowd, at an area, fibs, mid-bands, or yellow one-to-ones, inside of those large triggers, guys. And that is the perfect trend trade entry. Now, in this particular trade, I waited for a reversal bar because divergence with only the potential can upset the apple cart. And then I talk about where I get paid, why I got out, and every time you put this chart in the room, what you're doing is you're saying, hey, Mark, did I read my indicators correctly? Did I identify momentum the way momentum needs to be identified? Did I understand termination conditions properly? Does my entry follow the rules? Do my exit make sense? Was there a way to do it better? And guys, you get a private session with me every time you post in the room, right here in front of everybody. If you're on TradingView, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to talk about what you see and what it means to you. So in this particular trade, small triggers were down on the large chart. And what that means to me is that I'm only looking for short trades. I'm only looking to trade with the trend. Price is on the strong side of triggers, left of the triggers. And what that means to me is that this is the look that could produce bigger moves. I'm going to be aware of 1 minute areas, but I'm going to leave one on for a runner just in case it wants to go the distance. And then I have room to targets, guys. I have room to make money. This is my large chart read. And it's this final one, room to targets, is the only reason I'll ever go look for an entry. Because rule number 1 says, you guessed it, make sure you have room to trouble. Don't trade into areas. Give yourself room to make some cash. Now on the small chart, I'm also defining my entry. Because my small triggers rolled up, the immediate momentum is up. So I need a pullback to an area, to a one-to-one, to a one-to-one, to a zone, to a mid-band, something solid for the market to bounce from. And then I need a down bar that closes below the small triggers on the weak side of the triggers. That's your trend trade entry. And you'll notice this is my entry bar, but my entry shows up on the next bar because my rules say wait for the close. So when you cheat, I'm going to see it. Because it was strong triggers, holding for the bigger move, you can see my target line off in the distance. But guys, I know where trouble is. And I get paid at trouble, and I tighten my stops. And what I've done is I've said, this is exactly what I saw. This is exactly what it meant to me. This is exactly where I did what I did. And guys, if you went through the series of pictures that I put in the room of this particular trade, one of the best ways to get to where you want to be the fastest is don't just take a picture of your entries. As you go through the trade, keep snapping pictures. The zone moved. I'm locking in profits, right? I'm talking about my management. Oh, it got me out, and now it's support. And now because it's support, my triggers are up. My only option for a short trade comes from all the way up here at an area inside of triggers. What's the next one? It's like having a crystal ball. When you see these areas, when you know where the market could stop, guys, you don't have to trade into them. All you have to do is be patient. Wait for the best of the best. We did it again. I think going the other direction, right? Triggers are up. Strong side. Room to make money. Guys, here's my pullback to the area. There's my close above the triggers. There wasn't any room. I didn't have any room to make money, so I chose not to take the trade. But it creates a little bounce, comes right back to a mid-band, gives me the close above, and now I've got all the room in the world to get to trouble. I've got at least $100 worth of profit potential. My stop goes behind it. What happened? Let's see. Goes straight to trouble, took 2 off, get paid. My job's to get paid. And now my stop is behind the zone. I'm hoping they don't get back below because let's be honest, guys, I'm in this to make money. I'm not in this to look cool. It'll never happen. I take one more off at a place that could create some sort of bounce, and now I've got a runner, guys, and I'm looking for that big target because I'm on the strong side of triggers. As it breaks above this zone, I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep locking in. I'm going to make as much money as I can, but I'm going to give it some wiggle room. Let's see what happened next. My favorite phrase, bingo. That's a winner. And guys, if you go through my pictures, there is no question why I did anything, why I entered, why I exited, why I moved my stops, why I took profits, why I held for the runner. And guys, that's just a big happy moment. This is where you're all headed. And there's a way to get there. Post in the room, guys. Every time you have a question, post in the room. Every time you take a picture, post it in the room. Every time you take a trade, post it in the room. I want to help. I can't help you if you don't allow me to. The second thing, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Trading doesn't have to be difficult, guys. That was 2 trades that fit this plan. Where's my plans? I dropped them in the room already. But I want you to see this, guys. This is the TradingView KISS plan. This is designed to optimize your chances of success, guys. This is a stepping stone in your learning journey. This is not the only way to use the software. It's not the only trade you're allowed to take, guys. I don't give you permission to do anything. I'm not the trade police. This is the best of the best, the highest probability, the one that typically wins 70%. The one that if you can't make money consistently the easy way, why are you trying so hard to make it the difficult way? Through study, simulation, class feedback, and practice, you're going to write your own plan. You're going to start to see things. You're going to do things. You're going to find patterns that you can prove win more than they lose. And you may write your own plan. Until you can do that, this is the path of least resistance. It tells you exactly how to read your 15-minute chart. Come on. There we go. Define the direction of the move with the small triggers. Make sure you have room to targets by not trading into areas. And then where you are in relationship to the triggers will define your momentum plan or your management plan. It'll let you know exactly how you need to manage before you ever pull the trigger. Boom, boom, boom. Tells you where to find the rules. Gives you a checklist for entry. Talks about management. And then it gives you a second trade. A trade that once you're comfortable with the trend trade, this is a way for you to find more, to do more, to make more. And then if you are a Ninja Trader, it's the exact same thing. The Ninja Trader KISS plan, guys, it is a stepping stone in your learning journey. It is designed to optimize your chances of success, and it will be up to you through study, through feedback, through practice to write your own plan. It tells you exactly where to find your rules. It gives you a checklist for entry. It tells you how to manage it. The best of the best, the highest probability. And then it gives you a second trade. A trade that's not high probability, but a trade that gives you the opportunity to capitalize in a medium probability scenario. Trades are nothing more than advantages, guys. Trades are nothing more than advantages pieced together to create that trade. So post in the room. Keep it simple. The KISS plan is designed to give you the highest chance of success as a brand new user. And then you've got to know the patterns. Guys, everything that I teach in this room is just a pattern. If you are looking for the Ninja Trader, high probability trend trade, I can click on this link in the spreadsheet that I just dropped in the room, and it talks about momentum, path, and entry. And this look right here, that particular look is from 2022. Let's do another one just for grins. That's from 2022 as well. It's momentum, it's path, it's entry. Over and over. Let's go all the way down here. He canceled out. Man, someone needs to clear the links for me, right? Some of you guys quit trading and delete everything. Some of you didn't even quit trading and you deleted everything. All right, I got work to do over the weekend. Thank you, Pete. Momentum, path, entry. Same pattern. That was difficult. Sorry about that. So learn the looks. There's probably about 400 pictures of the pattern. There's the individual rules, strong triggers, clear path, how to define your entry. There's a place for you to put your pictures as you build your plan. And then there's a trade tracking sheet. Guys, the trade tracking sheet is going to be the most important part of your study, I think, because the trade tracking sheet, whether it is TradingView, there's the pictures of your trades, there's a place for your pictures, there's your tracking sheet. The trade tracking sheet does double duty. First, it gives you a trading log, which if you talk to anybody that teaches trading, they say, hey, keep a journal, follow your trades, look at it. The second thing the trading log does for you is there's a spot for feedback from class, guys. And what's going to happen as you learn the software, you're going to begin to recognize the challenges that you're having. You're going to see them repeated in the feedback. You're also going to see the things that you're doing really well in the feedback, because I love to celebrate victories. Whoops, wrong picture. Just ignore that one. Come on. So what you should do every morning, if you really want to be a successful trader, if you really want to get there faster than sitting in the shadows hoping that a video teaches you to get rich, guys, every morning wake up and study what you did yesterday. Every morning ask yourself, what worked? What do I need to do to find the success? Did following the rules win more than it lost? Yes. What didn't work? Well, for me, trading in determination conditions was what I did every day as a brand new user. I traded into lines that could stop the market, and I hoped that they would break. I had no idea until I posted in the room. And when I posted in the room, John Novak said, Mark, how many times are you going to trade into those lines hoping that they break? And I was like, uh-oh, I just found my thing. And he gave me the recipe to fix it. And I did fix it, guys. And what happened is I stopped taking avoidable losers because I started recognizing where my challenges were. That's what posting in the room gets you. If you do this every morning, it takes 2 or 3 minutes. It's going to set you up for the day. It's going to keep you focused on the good stuff, guys. It's going to keep you focused on avoiding the bad stuff. So on Ninja Trader, a trade is momentum. It's coupled with a clear path, and then you can define an entry. On TradingView, a trend trade is a clear path on both charts, and then buying or selling a pullback in an area, closing below. It doesn't change. The recipe for a trade doesn't change ever. Not for the high probability trend trade. Guys, separation is strength. When my small triggers work their way back inside of the large triggers, this is weakness. And weakness means that anything could happen up or down. Strength means that the odds are favorable for the market to continue in the direction of the trend. Guys, this is the easiest lesson that you will ever get in my room. Strong triggers is rule number 1. Strong triggers means separation and the colors match. Separation and the colors match. You're going to see this on the first bar. Weakness means that there is no separation, even if the colors match. Space, no space. Strong, weak. Odds favorable for the market to continue down. Anything can happen up or down. Guys, easiest lesson you'll ever get. The next thing is making sure you're not trading in determination conditions. On your big chart, any horizontal line that you see could stop the market. Any horizontal line is a place where the large crowd is making decisions. Any horizontal line has the ability to create a big untradeable bounce. It has the ability to reverse the market completely. It has the ability to break. You'll never know what it's going to be. So what you can do is every time the large crowd gets to a line, price reaches an area, count your trigger lines, the same trigger lines that define your momentum. If none of your trigger lines make it above resistance, resistance is a termination condition, guys. Rule number 2 is not met. There's absolutely no trades taken into that line if you're following the KISS plan. If 2 of your trigger lines break above that area and you've got that strong trigger look, this area does have the potential to break, but this is not the best look. 2 triggers is still a red number. It's still a stop sign for the new users. There is no trade on the KISS plan to take this look. When 3 of your trigger lines, both small and a large, get above resistance, now we're yellow, yield, caution, however you want to say it, cuidado. Guys, this is the potential to break and only the potential to break. But with 3 triggers, it has its highest chance. This is your second trade on your plan. When 4 triggers break through an area, the area is broken. The path is clear. The path will remain clear until you reach the next line. You guys good with that? Let's look at the large chart. Price reaches Fibonacci support. Do you guys see how all of the triggers stayed above? What did the market do? Off to the races. Resistance holds. Untradeable bounce back to support. Market pushes up. Weak triggers. Pulls right back to support. Somebody knows about these numbers. Pulls right back to that resistance price. No momentum. That's where the move down starts. And now let's see, just for grins, what that tail from the large chart with momentum and nothing in the way, what did it look like on a smaller, faster chart? Do, 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 do. Sound effects make backpedaling better. That's not an entry, because an entry says you need a pullback at an area inside of triggers. That's an entry. Market pulls back, reaches areas inside of those trigger lines, continuation down with all the momentum and the potential to break. Guys, a trade has nothing to do with your desire to win. And a trade has nothing to do with the fact that you bought software. You bought a tool. You bought a treadmill. If you don't haul your fat butt up on it, you're not going to get to where you need to be. A trade is the accumulation of 3 advantages. A trade is momentum defined by strong triggers, coupling that momentum with a clear path defined by no termination conditions, and then finally defining your highest probability entry on the smaller, faster chart and putting you in the high probability trend trade. My goal for everybody in this room is that you learn to recognize momentum, path, and entry, because once you look at it, you speak it out loud as you look at your charts. I have momentum. My path is clear. Small chart, I can define my entry. You know you have the best of the best. And when one of those advantages goes away, with a little bit of experience, you still have a lot of opportunity to take what we call a medium probability trade. So high probability means that each indicator on every chart agrees with the rules for the trade. This is your best of the best. Medium probability means that most of your indicators align, but an issue exists. Your issue will be that 33% of your advantages are gone. You'll take these, you'll manage these a little more assertively, you'll get to break even a little bit faster. And then finally, because all you're doing is talking in terms of advantages, you're going to say, crap, 66% of the good stuff's gone. This is low probability. Why am I risking my money? Why would I take an entry? Why would I enter a market where I no longer have an edge or an advantage when I know that there is so much good stuff waiting for me if I'm just a little patient? Guys, this is going to save your bacon. Learn the advantages. If you're on TradingView, learn direction. Commit to direction. Make sure there's nothing in the way. Define your entry. That's high probability. Once one of these goes, medium at best, manage assertively. Things aren't good. 2 of them go, why are you taking a trade? Go work through the boredom. Find something else to do. No momentum. There's your deep retracement. Price reaches Fibonacci support. Does everybody see that all of the triggers are above Fibonacci support? What that means to me is absolutely no short trades. I don't have a clear path. I don't have any momentum pushing it. I don't even have an entry. See these tails? These tails on a large chart are these pullback to areas on the small chart when the rules are met. And sometimes, even when the rules are not met. It's a pattern. That's all it is it's a pattern. So current read on the S&P. Most current bar. Trend is down. I don't have momentum because the colors don't match. I don't have a clear path because price reached support. No triggers are broken. There's absolutely no reason for me to even look at a small chart because I'm missing 2/3 of my advantages. Can you guys give me a why if that makes sense? That's it. That's the keys to the kingdom. We are in the 90%. Going to be like that today, huh? Trigger lines are up. My rules say only look for long trades. That's what the KISS plan says. If I'm looking for long trades from where the market is, I've got plenty of room to take a long trade. But I need a pullback, here it comes, to an area with a close on the correct side of the triggers, and that close on the correct side of the triggers has got to give me room to make money, and if it doesn't, my rules aren't met. And my rules aren't met. And guys, that's what we're going to do each and every day. So if you really want to be a day trader, you've got to be a chart reader first. If you really want to be a day trader, you've got to learn a couple simple concepts. You've got to learn the rules. Learn the rules like your life depends on it. Learn your rules so that you can see it quickly, read it quickly, analyze it quickly, and never second guess. Practice, practice, practice. The people that post the most, the people that practice the most, the people that put the most in their spreadsheets, these are the people that are getting where they want to be faster than the other people. Keep it simple. Learn your patterns, guys. Post in the room, track your trades. That's the recipe. So now what we're going to do, on the ES chart, OG, there are no bad trades. If you call it a bad trade, you're giving it a personality. There's two options. There's two options. Either my rules are met or they're not. Does that make sense? So if I'm a brand new user, let's go through this because let's do the read together. And this is in the moment. If a price is momentum, path, and entry, smalls below the large, space between. Do you see how the momentum is in play, OG? I like it. That's a good look. That's a market that's going to be hard to stop. But look at this. Price reached yellow 1-to-1s. None of my triggers broke through. What does that mean to me? That means that that's a termination condition. And let me show you my visual. Every time I see a termination, OG, that's what I think of. No matter how much I think I'm going to get through it, more often than not, it's going to stop my trade. It's going to create a loser. That's why rule number 2 is in play, because you've lost your edge. You've lost your advantage. And the rules say pull back to an area inside of triggers. Now, I can identify it. So if it pulled back, I could take it. It's a medium probability trade. Let's see what it did. Now I've got 2 triggers through. I've still got areas inside of triggers. My plan says, in order to take this trade, there are situations that have to be met. I have to have what we call a strong top. And a strong top means that this was a termination before the reversal. It wasn't. I also have to have 3 trigger lines through trouble. Now I do have 3 trigger lines through the 1-to-1s, but I'm directly into support. I don't have a clear path again. 90% of your day is doing nothing. Here we go. Still have momentum. Come on, give me that 3rd trigger line before I hit support. I'm about to lose Ninja Trader. Guys, this is trading. Trading is, man, I know exactly what I'm looking for, but those jerk faces aren't giving it. Ninja Trader just crashed. Sorry. I'll get that back up. Alex, you almost traded right into the termination condition. And I'm going to show you guys something. And I think this was my favorite lesson ever. Let me get this real quick. There's one picture that really changed my life. Guys, there will be times when your path isn't clear because areas are stacked. And we just saw that. We just saw it live in the S&P. There will be times where it'll be fib after fib after fib or 1-to-1 divergence, and you can never get that 3 trigger look yet. And you're just like, ugh, trading sucks. Guys, this is 90% of your day. 90% of your day. But when that market starts moving fast, that fear of missing out kicks in. 90% of your day is doing nothing. 90% of your day is sitting on your hands waiting. The futures markets collectively trade an average of $220 billion hourly. The S&P, the S&P in a typical day will exchange $174 million. You need to find 400 of it to be a six-figure trader. The NASDAQ, if you're a NASDAQ trader, typically trades about 269 million a day. You need to find 400 of it to be a six-figure trader. And I'm going to tell you, when 400 gets easy, that's it. You can copy accounts. Look at that. Price reaches support. Look at the bounce. Kablooey. Right to the one-to-ones. Guys, the market's open. That's it. You should be able to read your indicators. If you should be so good at momentum that it's instant. You should be so good at price reaches an area that it's instant. If it's not, you've got some work to do. Price reach yellow one-to-ones. None of the triggers broke. I'm not taking this long trade. It just doesn't fit my plan. We'll see what the market does, guys. If the rules are met throughout the day, we'll pull the trigger. We'll take it. We'll enter. We'll exit. We'll manage. We'll do everything that we can do. But if the rules aren't met, if my checklists aren't met, I absolutely, positively refuse to take the trade because I don't have an edge. So what we're going to do, wow, we made it through 30 minutes. I love it. I'm going to load up crude oil as well. We can watch it. Guys, we are going to click on the pictures that have been posted in the room so far today. Let me get up here. We're going to do a lesson for TradingView people on whether an area is broken or not, because that seems to be the biggest challenge with you guys. And that was my biggest challenge as well. And I am rectifying it through study. Because when I have a challenge and I recognize something that's costing me money, I study it. I take pictures of it. I look for patterns that are repeatable. We'll find out, Miss Trina. We'll find out if you're right. But let's start and let's look at some of the trades posted. So the large short read, 15-minute is up. Only looking for long trades. It's on the strong side of triggers, which means that there's the potential for bigger moves. Clear path on the 15-minute. And guys, this is the lesson we're going to take. In order for an area to be broken, price bars must break away from that area. Paul, you traded directly into resistance. That's it. And you lost trading directly into resistance. Does that make sense? We're going to address this and we're going to fix this for you guys. I'm going to give you something concrete to stare at every morning, Paul, so you don't have to take this loser anymore. Taken down by a prairie dog. I love that. Which means that you're already learning the lesson. You are already learning the lesson. Now, Paul, here's the kick in the pants, right? There's the right entry. There is your up bar on the correct side of the small triggers, trading from support with room to trouble. Do you see it? That's your trade. From 72.5, you got the money to make it. Taking the wrong trade, guys, will blind you to the right trade sometimes. 15 is down, transition, room to trouble. There's the pullback to the area. Close below doesn't have any room. This close below does have room, but the area is still support. Do you see it? The area is still support, Paul. Why is it still support? Because price didn't break away from it. See how price breaks above it? It's resistance here. Price breaks above, turns it into support. It's magic. And it stays support as long as price doesn't break through it, as long as I don't get a full bar away from that area. Does that make sense, Paul? Let's give you guys a little preview of the lesson that's coming, if I can find it. You're human and you're learning something new and there's moving parts to it. And what happens, Paul, is you're focused on the trade, right? You're focused on the entry. You've got to focus on the advantages. So here's the picture that we're going to look at in a little bit. And guys, let me know if this makes sense. I'm going to do a big honking arrow so you guys can see exactly what I'm pointing to when I point to it. Right here, price is resistance. Price is coming, or this zone is resistance. Price is coming up. It's coming from below like a shark about to breach, guys. Anytime you're coming from under, it's resistance. Is everybody good with that? What does that mean? It means trading into it could stop your forward progress. There's the bar that breaks above and away from resistance. Resistance is now support. Resistance will remain support until you get the same breakout below it. And look what happens. Support, 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 support all day long, right? And then price comes back down and it's breaking below and now it's resistance again. So as long as you can identify whether there was a break, you know whether it's more likely to hold a market in that direction. And this whole lesson is going backwards and it's giving you a foundation. I'll drop it in the room. I think this is the 4th time it's going in the room. Whoops. And I'm going to give you guys the PowerPoint that I made too. You can study it over the weekend. But the whole idea is that if you keep going short, believing that you're going short from resistance, but it's support, you're trading into an area. You're breaking rule number 2. Does that make sense, Paul? This is such an easy fix. But guys, what happens is we tend to repeat the same mistakes over and over because we don't take the time to study them. We go through and Paul, I'm not saying this is you, but this is what I did, guys. Anytime I say this, this is me. I would make this mistake and I would believe that the market sucked. And then I would make the same mistake and I would believe that the market was an asshole for taking my money, and I never bothered to go back, to study it, to look at it, to learn from it, to try to be better because of this. I got pissed off and I just went to the next trade. I didn't go through the study process. You got to go through the study process. Good morning, Miss Cindy. All right, Pete. Weak bottom because the small triggers broke. Odds favorable momentum. 3 triggers through. Pete tries the momentum trade. And momentum carries. And it's nice. And then it pulls back to an area inside of triggers, which is just a trend trade. When your momentum trade fails with such a good look, that's typically what happens. Pete knows that. Pete makes money on the way up. Great job. Mr. Perfect, yes, I do not study enough. Yes, the next trade. Paul, we all do it. That's the only reason that I know. The only reason I know it is because I probably took 100 losers in a row as a brand new user, and I never studied one of them. I never annotated my charts. I never went back. Why did it lose? What happened? Did I miss something? Was there something wrong? Guys, I'm telling you, becoming a great trader isn't a matter of taking a trade. It's a matter of going through the process. Why did I take this trade? Where could my analysis have a challenge? All of the momentum, Pete. No momentum on this side. Something looks wrong with your triggers, Pete. It's a momentum style look, and it does carry to the next one because of strong triggers and path. That's where I would right click and reload historical data. It looks a little weird on there. There it is again. Everything says up. There's nothing in the way. Pete gets in above a fib, just jumps the fudge in. Makes some money. Gets out with a loss of momentum right at trouble. Pete, great job again. Ooh, odds favorable. Jump in again, right? Jump in again. It goes to trouble. And then it pulls back and turns into a trend trade, and then that trouble looks like it's doing a little damage. Nice job. Little $120 scalp. Good stuff, Pete. All right. Trend trade. We've labeled it a trend trade. So let's see if it really is a trend trade. Triggers are up. Price in transition. All the space in the world to trouble. Small chart. Price pulls back to the area. Looks like one-to-ones, right? Price closed on the right side of triggers, but I waited one more bar to clear the trouble zone. Entered the trade, set the first profit target at trouble, then rode up the trailing stop, got hit, 315. So, Victor, see the space? This is resistance, right? So what Victor's doing is Victor's saying, okay, I'm not going to trade directly into trouble. That could be problematic. What I'm going to do is, because my rules are met, because it's in the right spot, I'm going to hope that it goes. And Victor, that's not a break above trouble. Do you see it? That's a prairie dog, the same way this was right here. Does that make sense, Victor? Guys, I'm not saying that you can't take this trade. That's not my job. I'm telling you that you are trading and that area is not broken yet, and it runs the risk of doing exactly what it did, right into a midband, right into a zone. And what does it do? It pulls back, retests the zone that is in fact support, and that's when it goes up. And they didn't give a lot of opportunity. So I'm glad that you made it. The only thing I would ask is, hey, did you realize that the zone was still behaving as resistance? And did you take the jump above hoping that it would turn to support? Because there's an element of hope, which means you're ready to manage if something goes wrong. That's it. It's prairie dog. It's a prairie dog. All right. Everything is up. Strong side. It's clear. There's your pullback. There's your close above with room to trouble. Paul, did you see how that's your trade right there? You catch it late. No worries. Expectations. You catch the second leg. Nicely done. That's your best entry right there, though. That's the one that fits the rules perfect, that gives room to trouble. You just caught the second leg of it. Good job, Paul. Trend trade. Triggers up. All right. Price in the transition. 28 ticks of space. Manage assertively on the small chart. Small chart, price pulls back. Breaks below support. Support becomes resistance. It looks like you went short. Did you go short or did you get stopped out? There's your close above. That's your trend trade entry. Nicely done there. What was that one? It's a previous trade. Right on. Great trend trade. Look at that. Close above from the area. Off it goes. Money, money, man. Had 185 right before this trade. No time to take a picture as next trade would happen. Cool. I'm going to show you a cool trick. You ready, Victor? You're going to love this. I can go back and take a picture of a loser. I can annotate it. I can walk through the process. Just because I miss it right then doesn't mean that I skip it for the day. Wouldn't that be wonderful if you could? Well, I just didn't have time to take a picture, so I'm not going to take a picture of my loser. I'm not going to talk about trading into an area that didn't break. I'm not going to study this one. I'm just going to walk like the big deal I am, right? And celebrate the victories when really I got to figure out how the hell I need to keep this from happening. Does that make sense, Victor? Not trying to beat you up. This loser needs more attention than this winner. Take the winner, go back and talk about the loser, because that's the one you got to get out of the way of. And maybe it was the perfect trade. I'm not sure. I don't know. And guys, that's a big thing. It's fun to post winners in the room. And Victor, I'm not accusing you of this. Please understand. It's fun to post winners in the room, guys. Look at me win, look at me win, look at me win. What you will find is that of all the people that post nothing but winners, they all take losers. They all take losers. We just don't see them. Why? What if they know I'm not perfect? Momentum, trading directly into all the trouble in the world. All the trouble in the world. Do you guys see that? Price reached resistance. None of the triggers broke. Not even medium probability. This is yuck, ooh, gross, termination, holy crap, brick wall. Do you see it, Pete? It's fun to say that it was medium probability up here, but that's not where you traded. You traded directly into trouble. Didn't break. Not yet. It's okay. Because your amazing entry was low risk. Your awareness that it was trouble was fantastic. And you not hoping for a home run into a brick wall is outstanding. All the momentum, none of the clear path. 2 out of 3, take and manage, right? Just take and manage. Great job, Pete. But guys, if you're not winning the majority of your trades, take and manage is difficult because these do lose more than they win. Pete's got an X next to his name. He's an X-man. He's been here for 10 years. He's got a lot of time under his belt, a lot of chart reads, a lot of pattern recognition. Don't trade like Pete. Not yet. You're not there. Everything says up. Your entry, Victor, where is your entry? I want you guys to see something. Or just, Paul, even if you don't take the picture, who is this? Is this waiting on pullback to mid-band of the zone? I'm sorry, Victor, I thought that was you. You're usually my pullback guy. Guys, who gave me this picture? Who wants to claim it? I'll find you. I'll find you, dagnabbit. Let me see where we're at. Nobody wants to claim it. Maybe somebody does. I want you guys to see something. That's you? No, you're good. You're good, but I want to show you something here, and this is important. On your 1 minute, dude, Paul, perfect entry, right? If it pulls back to an area, close above, 32 flavors of awesome. Look at where your box is on the large chart. Right in an area where decisions are made. If you took an entry here, you would be right in the middle of something that could stop the market. Does that make sense? Cool. I like it. You're calling your shots, right? And I see your line. I would need a break above it. I need a bounce from it. I always want to make sure that you guys, you can do whatever you want, Paul. You can enter and manage all you want. I think you guys latch onto that because John Novak says it and we all want to be John Novak. But the reality is the majority of us, myself included, can't take and manage the way he does. I don't have to take trades where I have to take and manage. I just take clear trades. It's so much easier. It's so much easier. That's up to you guys, though. Trend trade, triggers up, price in transition, room to the next area, small chart, price pulls back to an area, close on the correct side of the triggers. There's your entry. I mean, beautiful, right? Make some money. And let me read the rest of it here. Should have noticed when price hit the next supply and demand zone. It was also hitting it on the large chart. Should have exited the trade but did not, so gave back some. Need to trust my plan and not be so aggressive on my repositioning of the stop loss. In this case, I did not exit when I had to. I know, Paul. I know that you're not trying to be John, and I know that you want to find more and you want to do more and you want to get more trades and take and manage. And I want you to take this the way it's intended because it's coming at you with every ounce of love in my heart that I have. As long as you're making prairie dog mistakes, taking and managing might not be your best bet. I don't tell you how to trade, but if you're still making fundamental errors, Do you want to take your trading plan next level where you're forced to make decisions on the fly in risky situations? That's up to you. That is a decision only you can make. And Victor, I love the annotation on this. And this is one of those things where Victor, virtual high five. Victor took his trade, he managed his trade, he did everything, and then when he finished, he went, "Oh man, I reached my targets, but I didn't exit and I gave money back." Pretty cool. So Victor, next time you take a trade and you see those 15-minute areas, there's a really good chance that you're just going to get paid at trouble, get out and say, "That's it, I'll wait for the next one." Does that make sense, everybody? This is what can I do better? And when you go through this process, you find that you eventually start doing better. Good job. Triggers up, weak side, into trouble, close on the correct side, directly into trouble. Close above small triggers entry, game on. Is there a follow-up picture? There we go. Out of trouble, it worked. Take and manage. There you go. Break a rule, take and manage. I love it. I'm glad you got paid. Good job. Good job. Trend trade. Triggers up, price on the weak side. Need to manage aggressively, space to exit area. I don't know what that means. There's your pullback. There's your close above into trouble. There's your next close above into trouble. You went long at 09 after it hit trouble, and they took 7 points from you. Is that right? Paul, if you're following the KISS plan, absolutely you did. Directly into trouble. But at least you got into the first trouble. You didn't trade directly into the second trouble from the weak side. So 2 trades into trouble. One of you dodged a bullet and got paid. One of you gave back 280 bucks. If it doesn't match the rules, you have to wait 2 or 3 bars to enter. It's not your trade. I should stay out. I love that. I love that. If it doesn't fit the rules, you don't have to enter, right? $269 million exchanged in the NASDAQ daily. $269 million exchanged daily. You don't need all the trades. You don't need all the moves. You don't have to be in the crazy of the open, guys. That was my 2 trades this morning. Fit the KISS plan 100% as provided in this room daily. On a 4 lot, managing according to where I was in relationship to the triggers, taking profits at trouble, adjusting my stops, almost $2,000 from 2 trades. I would be on the golf course if I wasn't teaching the room. Guys, there are so many opportunities if you just wait. Area still support. Absolutely, Miss Trina. Perfect. And then you could take this lesson one step further if you wanted to, where you could say, if I get a bar that breaks below, it will turn to support. So now you're identifying it perfect, and then you can take it one more level. This is what I see. This is what I would need to see for that to change. Great job. Perfect picture. Get your breakout bar. Now it's resistance. Doesn't change that you have all the support here, but that's a good lesson. And look what it does. Still resistance. And now it's support. Well, yeah, full bar up. And now it's going back in direction with the large chart. Because the large chart had tons of support, right? So they do break below a little bit of overrun. And now we're starting to get back in line with what the big chart says. Nope. So still support, right? Did you just mistype? Still support. Because it broke above? Didn't you call it resistance? Now it's support. Still support until it breaks below. Now resistance. I like this drill, Trina. I think this is such a good drill that you're doing. Going through and really cementing those concepts. When is a 1 minute area broken, right? Triggers are down. I'm below trouble. 15 minutes, guys. You can't use the same concept. Pulled back to resistance. Haven't had a close below with any room yet. Do you see it? No room to go on the 1 minute. No trade. That's it. No room, no trade. One of the easiest concepts, because once that broke above, it became support, right? Why would I trade directly into support if it doesn't afford me the ability to manage, to make money? Look what it's doing. It's still holding. Now, what happens if we get up here? Well, it's into support over here. They just saved you from a loser. Good job. But that's kind of the concept. So I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to walk away. That's all the pictures. Larger down, smaller up. I don't have momentum. It's an uptrend, but I don't have a clear path. I'm going to sit on my hands and wait. That's it. It's my only option. Lay it on the ground like a slug. It was his only defense, right? Little Christmas movie. So I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. When I come back, we're going to go through that prairie dog lesson that I created for TradingView. If you have questions, if there's something that you're working on, if there's anything at all that I can help you with, do me a favor. Post it in the room, and then we'll just spend the rest of the day. If the rules are met per the KISS plan, I'll pull up the checklist. If the rules are met for a Ninja Trader high probability trend trade trade, for a Ninja Trader medium probability 3 or 4 triggers through trade, or for the TradingView trend trade, we will take and manage. We will do it for educational purposes. But I'm going to take 5 minutes. When I come back, we're going to do a lesson, and then we'll see what happens, guys. I'll leave you with the S&P. Remember, $174 million daily. Let's find the 4 to 500. Let's go golf. Back in 5. Oh, second hour. Let's see what Pete did. I bet it has momentum involved. Oh, yeah, it sure does. Strong top, termination, full reversal, odds favorable momentum, 3 triggers through, pull back to the area inside of triggers, make money, almost got the fib, and they got you. There you go. So there is a recipe, right? There is a recipe for success. There's a recipe to make it easy. There's a recipe to not fight. There's a recipe to go with the trend. There's a recipe to define entry, guys. Learn the recipe. And then it's amazing just how easy things get. So right now, I've almost got separation. That was your clear path, not the best momentum pullback to an area inside a trigger, medium probability. But I want to go through the little piece that I put together. So you wonderful trading view people. Whoops. Man, hold on. It's coming up on the wrong monitor. Here we go. This is our little lesson. There's that picture that I posted in the room earlier today, but I just found some examples. I hope this is helpful for you. And here is the PowerPoint that we're looking at, so you can use it for study. Guys, resistance, when price comes up and reaches a zone, when price comes up and reaches one-to-ones, when price comes up, reaches a mid-band, it's resistance. Coming from the downside, it's resistance. It remains resistance until you get a break away from it, not a peak above. And then it becomes support. And it remains support until you get a break away from it. And then it becomes resistance. Now, guys, why is Mark talking about this? Because this is, without question, the most common mistake that TradingView users make, because it's a 1 minute bar. A lot can happen in 1 minute. So price comes down and reaches, and there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, I got below trouble. I'm ticks below. It's a down bar. It closed below triggers. I've got momentum. Guys, this is still support. No matter what color it is, it's still support. Does that make sense? This is the prairie dog. We have lovingly named it the prairie dog because it peeks its little head out and then it bounces right back up. That is a very common mistake. The same is true here. The bar goes up. Price peeks its head above resistance. Even if it turns green, it's not broken. This is the prairie dog. Does that concept make sense to everybody on TradingView? Not calling anybody out. I'm guilty of doing this 1,000 times, which is why I decided to turn it into a lesson. And I'm seeing you guys do it 1,000 times, which is why I made it into a PowerPoint that I can hand you. Price comes down, reaches support, and there's no break. I never get a break below. Never get that full bar below. It remains support. Does anyone remember what the market did from this point right here this morning? It rocketed up to this resistance up here from that point of support, where some of you were like, I've got momentum, let me jump below. That's it, guys. It's still support. Why your prairie dog fails. The area is still resistance. Well, it started to break above, I jumped in, right? It started to break below, I jumped in. It's still resistance. Never broke. If you jump in short, you don't have a clear path. And then there it is right there, guys. And this is why 1 minute areas deserve more respect than they're typically given. People, well, it's just the 1 minute and the 15-minute says, I'll take and manage, right? I'll take that long trade and I'll just manage. That's an option you guys are allowed to embrace. I refuse to be the trade police or tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you, trading is about having an edge, and trading is about probabilities. And trading is about when you do something, you do it because you can prove that it wins more than it loses. And it takes the guesswork out. And honestly, it takes a lot of the emotion out because it's just doing. Triggers down, strong side, room to trouble, market pulls back to the area. You take a close on the correct side, directly into trouble, right, Pablo? It's support. Look at the bounce. As long as you know it, and it works out for you. Factors that may have influenced Pablo's desire to break rules. Strong side of the triggers. 1 minute areas at least have a better chance of breaking with strong triggers, right? He had room to trouble. Everything is down. Does it fit the plan? No. Not the basic plan. Does it fit Pablo's plan? Maybe. Maybe Pablo's very willing to trade into support, right? It didn't work there with momentum. Didn't work here with momentum. But it worked for him there. I love it. Good stuff. Now here's the thing. You don't get to be surprised if you get stopped out. Is that fair? That's all it is. You can't get mad if you break rules and lose. That's all I'm saying. Strong triggers give you the confidence. Love it. No entries in this area, no room. That's fair, right? Same trade, same look. Paul says, I keep getting my ass kicked here. I'm choosing not to. Nothing wrong with that. Two different takes on the exact same look. That's why trading is an individual sport, right? And what I always ask people, when you trade into an area, do you win more than you lose? That's it. That's the only question you should ever ask yourself. When I fudge my rules, Pablo, we're going to use yours as an example. Going to make an example of you, young man. So my rules say 15 clear, 1 clear, pull back to area, close below, right? This is the KISS plan. Is everybody comfortable with that? What is the KISS plan? The KISS plan is designed to optimize your chances of success, giving you the highest probability as a brand new user as you learn to read your indicators. So Pablo has probably graduated to a point where now it's Pablo's plan. Sounds like a children's show, doesn't it? Pablo's plan says 15 clear and strong will not worry about 1 minute areas. Take pullback to area, close below. So there's the upgrade, right? Now, the hope is that Pablo has found 30, 40, 50 trades from the strong side of triggers with the clear path trading into areas, and at least 70% of them won. 65, 70% of them won. That's how plans get made. Now, does it win more than it loses? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Pablo may have an answer to it. But what happens, guys, is you grow outside of the very basic plan because Pablo's like, man, I've seen this 1,000 times where when I'm on the strong side of triggers, that one thing that could be problematic tends to break, and it at least makes it to the next one. And Pablo says, I can take it and manage. Is Pablo wrong? No. Is Pablo trading the KISS plan? Also no. So understanding that this is the best, the highest chance, this is the one that I can say is good for about 70%. I don't know what it is on this one, but it's stacking advantages, turning them into trades. Does that make sense? Because I don't want you to think Pablo did it right, Paul did it wrong, Paul did it wrong, Pablo did it right. It's just different, guys. It's different for everybody. Some of you still kiss with your eyes open. Some of you close them. It's all right. Whatever. That's your thing. Do it. Enjoy it. Great trade, Pablo. And then great restraint, Paul. Props to both of you. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. We're in chart reading time. Until you guys post or ask, we're in chart reading and study. Look at all that momentum and 3 triggers through. What did that look like? Just below a mid band inside of triggers. Strong triggers up. Only 2 triggers through the area. Here comes price closing the gap. Let's see what happens. I don't have rules met yet. I need 3 triggers through. Whoa, holy, drop out of bed, Batman. All right, guys. Is this behaving as resistance or support? So Trina, right here it's support, right? There's your break. It's resistance. Beautiful. Great job. What does that mean? I'm not going long into it. But it means that with strong triggers down and below it, couldn't I take a pull back to resistance and a close below? And see if we get to the next area? Sure looks like it to me. I've got 42 seconds to think about it, though. I've got 37 seconds until I know whether or not this will be a close below. So far, my rules aren't met. But if I get a close below the small triggers, I will take a trade, assuming I still have room down to 406. And man, I've got 3 days to get to 406. 15 seconds. We're going to take it if it loads, guys. I don't know if it's going to win or lose. Oh, don't you run without me, you scratchers. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's my trade. Stop loss goes above. Profit target goes at trouble. Let's see if we make it. That's a lot of risk, isn't it? 4 contracts. That's a big bar. Is it going to win or lose, guys? What do you think? Technically, it has to go above the pivot high. Does it fit the rules? Triggers are down. Strong side of the triggers. Room to trouble. Pull back to resistance. Close below. Nothing in the way. Let's see what it does. As long as the rules are met, right? And you might say, if it gets above this, I want to reduce my risk. We're going to do it per the plan. And we'll just see what happens, guys. Let's let it play out. We're on simulator, right? What's the worst that can happen on simulator? Oh, it's so close. We could just hit close, right? We could say, you know what? No, we're not gonna. We're gonna let it go, Trina. We're gonna see what it does because we're in a learning point. All we're doing is we're trying to figure out when it looks like this and I enter like that, does it make the next area? I don't know. What's going on in the trade? What direction are the large triggers? They're down, right? Small triggers are down, large triggers are down, small triggers are down, space is there. Guys, if you want to take partial profits, watch that. Hold on. There we go. There's $400 in the bank. Just so you guys feel better about it. Who cares, Victor? It's not a momentum trade. We took 2 off for $440. Can we go break even if we're scared? Yeah, but we're not gonna. We're gonna see if they make it because, guys, trading is about learning. Trading is about figuring it out. Trading is about taking it, managing it. What if we get a close above the small? If it pulled back to resistance, it would just be another trend trade, wouldn't it? Has anything changed? No, everything is angled down. Do the down dance, relax, enjoy. You're on simulator, you're learning. But Mark, I'm really scared. So if you're really scared, get rid of another one. Who cares? Pulls back to resistance. Let's see what happens. But Mark, what if they get you? Well, I'm on simulator. Who cares? Pulled back to resistance. Large triggers down, small triggers down. Bounced off 1-to-ones, bounced off a zone, stopped still in place, already made money. Man, what an emotional roller coaster. Victor, smalls need to be below the large for a momentum trade, right? For a momentum trade, small triggers definitely need to be below the large. Some of you would say, you know what? If they get above this zone, I don't want it. But as long as they stay below resistance with everything down, I'll hold the trade. We'll see if they make that final target. I've got 2 contracts left. I've already been paid on 2 of them. This is day trading, guys. And if you don't go through this on simulator, you will talk yourself out of the perfect trade. If you don't go through this on simulator, you're not going to understand how to manage your trades. What does the strong side mean? Typically bigger moves, right? Not always, but typically. Let's see if we can get a push down to go with those large chart triggers. Oh man, they're skating sideways. I'm up money, I'm down money, I'm up money, I'm down money. Oh, I'm going to throw up. How we doing? You okay? Trina, you okay? Why are we still in this trade? Because the large chart triggers are strong side. So we're just going to hang out and see what happens, guys. Don't take trades because I take trades. I'll hold these things forever on simulator. I'm building lessons. I want to see if that resistance actually holds. Now, as you grow a little bit, you might say, look, my large triggers are trying to roll up. My small triggers are trying to roll up. They haven't. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now my triggers have rolled up, but that's okay. I'm still on the strong side, right? Could we say, well, I'll tighten up 50 bucks. That makes me feel better. I feel so much better with that $50 in place. Now we're getting back down to those large triggers. Oh, man. Bingo. Welcome to day trading, ladies and gentlemen. How did I do? Did I follow entry rules? Let's annotate the chart and present it for feedback. Let's annotate the chart and present it for feedback. So my smalls are down. I'm on the strong side. I had room to trouble, right? Is any of this new? Is any of this outside of the very basic highest probability trend trade I teach every day? I want you guys to recognize I didn't deviate. It's not Mark Novak's special recipe. Did I get a pullback to an area? And did I get a close below? I did catch it with 1 second left, guys. I did cheat on the entry and took it with 1 second left. Hold on. Let's write the rules on here. Because the small triggers rolled up, I need a pullback to an area with a down bar closed below small triggers. Does it fit the rules? I feel like it does. What's going on, Dono? I like it when you old timers show up. Not that you're old, but the 15 next to your name, right? Now we're going to go through this too. What's the expectation of strong side of triggers? I can't talk. On the 15. 1 minute areas, more likely to break, right? Large chart targets. Is there anyone that doesn't understand that concept? The only thing strong side tells me is that it's more likely to go here than it is to just reverse. That's it. That's all. Did I have any 1 minute areas to create trouble for me? Do you guys see any 1 minute areas that could create a bounce? Any 1 minute areas that could stall my foot? No. That's why we held. We took some profits. Get some money in the bank. Hold your stops. Trust your trades. Guys, if you can't do this on simulator, you're never going to do it live. Trina, you chickened out. You got in late, never made your first target, and got out. The reason we are on simulator is because everything is a lesson, guys. Everything is a lesson. So how do we do? So far today, I've taken 3 high probability trend trades on 4 lots. I'm up $3,600 on 3 trades. 100% KISS plan. 100% KISS plan. 100% taken and managed as presented to you each and every morning in this room. Welcome to Nexgen. This is what we do. This is what I do every day. And I beg and plead you guys with you to learn these rules, to commit them to memory, to practice on simulator. If you're not hitting your goals, guys, it's not Nexgen. All right. Nice ES trade. Not really a strong top. Rolled. Odds favorable. So, Pete, say it out loud, Pete. Why did it run you over and go up higher? Why do you suppose? With your momentum style entry, what was missing, Pete? I'm going to channel John Novak. And since it's John Novak, we'll change color, right? He talks to me in yellow. Dag nabbit, Mark. How can you take a momentum trade if your chart doesn't have momentum? Pete knows that, though. Pete didn't panic. That lesson's for everyone else, not really you, Pete. How can you take a momentum trade if there's not momentum? It's okay to wait for the trend trade. You don't have momentum rules met. This is what happens, and not you, Pete, because again, you know what you're doing. You're at that point. But if you're brand new, guys, you start taking what you think is the right trade. Pete understands all of the working parts. If you're brand new, you probably don't understand them. And that's a lot of headache. A lot of headache for a new user. A lot of stress for a new user. Let's see what the market's doing. Odds favorable momentum. Clear path. What's missing on my entry, guys? My rules say buy or sell a pullback at an area inside of triggers. There's my triggers. What happens if I don't have an area? I don't really have a trade, right? Because once I get to the wrong side of the triggers, I don't know if, when, or where that market's going to stop. Do you guys see it? There is no area inside of triggers. None whatsoever. It's not there. 2 out of 3. Medium probability. Some of you will say, if a reversal bar prints, I'll go ahead and take the trade. I'll force the small chart to go in the direction of my trade. Some of you will say, It just doesn't fit my plan. I'm not going to take this one. We'll see what happens next time. Does that make sense, NinjaTrader users? Entries come from fibs, mid-bands, or yellow one-to-ones inside of trigger lines. And once I'm on the wrong side of the trigger lines, I don't know if, when, or where that market's going to continue down. I don't know if it'll be here, or here, or here, or here, or here. So as you grow with the software, you can say, my entry isn't perfect. I demand a reversal bar for entry because once I have a reversal bar, I know I can put my stop behind it and at least have a place to manage the trade. Boom, 2 out of 3, take and manage. Does that make sense? You're in control. This is your money. This is your investment. This is your job. If I can't define my entry and it could come from any one of these areas, I force the reversal bar. It worked out pretty nice, didn't it? Hopefully you guys are quiet because you're in this trade, because you've done the study and you've said, you know what, with this look, that's where the market's likely to go. And now that price has reached it and none of the triggers are broken, that's where the market's likely to stop. And at 54.50, if it missed Pete's target, Pete will be out. Pete says, I am freaking close. I've got a trailing stop, and if it keeps running, now he's at 53. I know where Pete's stops are. And if it keeps running, now he's at 52. Oh my gosh. Pete keeps making money because the market won't stop. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty in tune with what Pete does. He's got a trailing stop. Strong trending market, baby. And Pete might have gotten out with that spike. Maybe. I'm not sure. It would have been close. We'll see. Might have missed him by a tick. If this breaks, there's your next line. If this breaks, there's your next line. Pretty cool, right? There it is. Now he's out. Market loves to make it to the edge, guys. You want to hear something that just absolutely stinks? Not really. This is not the KISS plan. That is not the KISS plan. And if you're a brand new user in my room, you are mad as fudge that you didn't take this trade. Did anybody skip it because it wasn't inside of triggers? You missed it? Did you miss it or did you skip it? Big difference, right? Big difference between skipping and missing. You got out early. Well, then you caught it. You just got out early. Before it broke down? Why would you do that? Where did you get in? This is where if you guys want to post in the room, we can talk about it. Guys, here's the deal. The KISS plan is designed to optimize your chances of success. Through study, simulation, feedback, you'll build your own plan. You guys remember what we did with Pablo? So your new plan may say, when the entry is not defined, but the large chart is perfect, I'll enter with a reversal bar. And that's your new plan. That's your next trade. Good stuff. Let's see what Paul did. Did you get any of that down movement? Wanted to get out, not because of coach, don't you cowards run, hold, but because of large chart. At 400, you hit your target, right, Paul? Perfect. But you got out at 409. You didn't let it hit the target. That's okay. Are you upset about 27 points on a 2 lot? Hell no. Great trade, Paul. Great trade. All right, let's see what Boaz did, and then Alex will talk about yours. Boaz says all the momentum, all of the path. Let me take the reversal bar. Let's run it down. Beautiful job, Boaz. Great trade. Great trade. Is there anything wrong getting out just above Fibonacci support? Absolutely not. Beautiful trade. Do you guys see it? He did everything we talked about. Momentum and path. They're going to have to give me a reversal bar. And then we're going to take it down. And now, Alex, let's do some management. Whoa. And management's huge. Oh, we got some opportunity here. I like this. I really do. So, Alex, I'm not sure where you're at with the software. I'm not sure where you're at in your study, and I'm not sure what your rules are. But let's do this real quick. This jump in, that's a momentum style entry. And it's beautiful. You've got all the momentum. Everything says down. Snap back to the fib. Perfect. And I'm assuming that was your intention. This is everything Nexgen teaches. This is the perfect momentum trade. I love it. Smiley face for you there. So here is where life, excuse me, can change for you a little bit. And this is going into expectations, Alex, and I hope that this is helpful. If my momentum trade fails, meaning that, and I'm going to define it, reversal bar closes above the small triggers. That's your failure. That's your momentum failure. Does that make sense? That's like the most beautiful exit condition. It does two things for you. If my momentum trade fails, with the perfect large chart, a trend trade is a 99% probability. Does that make sense, Alex? So when this trade fails, and you already got paid on it, what it does is it gets your brains pricking up a little bit, saying, uh-oh, I'm not going to enter here. That's not my trend trade entry. It's got to be somewhere up here, right? And then you start playing that through your head. Well, an entry comes from an area inside a trigger. Shit, I don't have that. I'm going to force a reversal bar from the areas just beyond. And then, Alex, you're riding that one all the way to profit bill. But it comes with expectations. If my momentum trade fails, what's next? Well, with that look, it's a trend trade all day long, which means that I'm instantly patient, waiting. I already made money on the momentum trade. This is my next option. Let me force the market to come to me. Does that all make sense, Alex? I love it. This is such a great picture. And man, your momentum trade is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. So let me show you. Let's go see if we can find some examples, right? Momentum and path, right? Alex, if my momentum trade fails, there's my momentum trade. If it fails with this look, it's likely to become a trend trade. Bing, pow, zing. If the momentum trade fails, likely to become a trend trade. Let's see if we can find another example. I love this stuff. If the momentum trade fails, becomes a trend trade. As long as the large chart is good, if the momentum trade fails, becomes a trend trade. Do you see it? Isn't it crazy? The market does the same darn thing over and over and over. If my momentum trade fails, typically becomes a trend trade. I love it. Alex, thanks for posting that, man. I think that's a lesson everybody needs. It's just because a trade's over doesn't mean it's the end of the road. What do your indicators say? Great job on that one. You're so welcome. You guys don't realize this. It doesn't matter how long you've been with Nexgen. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. Sometimes it's just nice to get a different point of view. I send every trade that I take to my brother, and he sends me every trade that he takes, and we talk about them. What did you see here? John, why did you do that? Mark, why did you tighten your stop so much? And we have these conversations, and if nothing else, we take somebody with a little more experience and just get the feedback. And Alex, your plan may never include what we just talked about, right? You may never, ever take that into consideration in your entire trading career. But now you know it exists, and it may help with management here. It may help with patience here. It might help with holding the move, right? You guys want to see something else that's really freaking cool? If I'm in this short, if I'm in this short right here, the market has absolutely no chance of going up until that close on the weak side of the triggers. So if you're fearful or if you're holding for the bigger move, trail behind your reversal bar, because until that happens, it's not going up. Did you guys know that? Until it closes below the small triggers, it's not pushing down. It can't. It doesn't have to push down far, but it didn't start pushing down from the left side of the triggers. Do you guys see that? How do I hold that last contract? Trail a reversal bar marker. Look at that. If you got in there, trail a reversal bar marker. You didn't get out until Alex got in for his momentum trade. And then when your momentum trade fails, there it is. Reversal bar marker. Push up. It's these little things that we don't know as brand new users. Guys, I've got them all just cataloged in my brain. I just need you guys to show me pictures. Triggers are down. No room. Don't care. Don't care. No trade, no room, can't do it, doesn't fit the rules. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't have rules met here. And I don't have rules met here. This is why weak triggers at a fib says don't do it. Don't go long at the area inside of triggers. Your rules aren't met. Relax. There's more coming. I Papa Giorgio, how are we doing? Mike Lucas, how you feeling? Z Robot, how's your world? Alex Uba, how's things? Sammy, great to see you. What's going on? Andy V, what are you wondering? Jeffrey Dean, what's got you vexed? Muser, I see you in here. What do you want to talk about? Smacking your head, Alex? How come? Paul W, anything I can do for you? Miss Cindy, Sergio, Morgan, Aaron, Mark SP, Alex Trina, Dave Cedeno, Victor, OG Sid, Jen, Phil, Ryan Pablo 452 AMW, Junior, good to see you, Carl, Cheetah, Pete, Boaz, Joel, Jim, learning daily. Me too, Alex. Me too, every day. You want to know something crazy, Alex? I've never seen a picture from you. I've never seen your charts. Why are you doing it on your own? You know there's somebody here that'll help, right? All you have to do is post pictures in the room. We'll talk about everything. Alex showed up today, posted a picture. I feel like he's walking away a little better. Guys, you people that don't give me the opportunity to help you, why would you want to help yourself? You don't know how to do this. This is why you came to us. I do know how to do this. This is why I teach the room. And my whole purpose in the world is to give you everything you need. All you have to do is ask. Hey, Mark, need help with this. Hey, Mark, here's my trading plan. Can I email you a copy of it? Can we discuss it? Does Pro Trader funding? Does Pro Trader have any plans to be on Ninja? No. So Ninja did AMP dirty apparently at some point, and AMP will have absolutely nothing to do with him. Thanks, Paul. All right, Miss Trina's like, Mark, I'm tired of your voice. Let's look at some pictures. You're not the first woman to be tired of my voice, Trina. Working on the momentum trade. So it's down. It's strong. Didn't break. There it is, Trina. Didn't break, right? Mistake, should have waited until fully broken. Wrong stop. Also should have exited when slip happened because loss of advantage, close stop. So you broke the rule that says pull back to the area, right? No, you're great, Trina. You broke the rule that says break and come back. But this is pretty cool because you've been showing me pictures that say that's still support, right? But you did it anyway. So here's the cool thing, and this is what we all do. When I'm learning, my brain still just wants to trade. You're just training it right now. This is old habits, right? That's your ex-boyfriend that cheated on you. We don't want him anymore. We want the new one. There's your pullback. If anything, if even, right? We want the one that's good to you. We want the one that's nice to you. But that's the prairie dog. That's the avoidable mistake. And you guys are going to get it because I'm going to beat it like a dead horse. Momentum trade setup. Breaks below. Pulls back. Down it goes. There you go. Much, much better. Much better look. You've been calling it footsie, Andy? Gets in the area, bounces between her tests and area up or down. I like it. I like it. So Trina, here you got the open, you got the full body of the bar below. I dig it. There's the snapback. I dig it. And it did overrun a little bit. This is gold. Gold's neurotic, but that's such a better look. And look what happened on the way down. Giddy up. Do you see the difference between the two? Body of the bar breaks. I love it. Trina, you do such great study, and you do so much annotation work. I don't have doubts about you. The thing that is frustrating sometimes for all of us, right, is we do this. Learning to trade is not a linear thing. I'm getting smarter, getting smarter, getting smarter. Oh, I slipped in the stupid. Hold it. Now I'm a little bit better. Wait a minute, I made that mistake again. I'm almost there. Damn it, not quite. Right? And guys, for every setback that you take, you're still going up. Right, Trina? You're 1,000 times better than you were when we met. I think the goal is believing that there is no finish line. There is no finish line. You can't get too smart. You can't know it all. You can't be too calm. You can't manage too effectively. Always studying. And with that concept, how do I stay focused and make money while I'm on this journey? What's the easiest way to do it? Take the trade that you know wins more than it loses, right, Trina? Manage it conservatively. And while you're doing this, and while you're getting paid, and while you're making money, do things like, oh, you know what? I'm working on this concept. Let me make sure I'm on simulator for this one, right? And then Trina, the high probability sets up, and you're like, whoa, I'm going live. Because this one fits my plan, but this look, simulator, I'm learning. Did you guys know that you don't have to learn on live, but you can go in between live and simulator? So if you're super comfortable with the KISS plan, you could trade it live. And then you can take pictures and simulate the things that you're trying to learn. I forget that sometimes. All right, let's see. Auto entry. I like everything about this trade. It just didn't work. Adam, I like everything about that trade. It just didn't work. Do you want to know the only thing I could say, Adam? And we did this lesson a little earlier. Are you in here? Large chart's perfect, right? Small chart areas are on the wrong side of the large triggers. Is that true? It looks like it's true. It looks like your mid-band is already on the wrong side of the triggers, already where the market shouldn't go. Does that make sense, Adam? Here's my triggers. My areas are above it. Do you see it? Good morning, Mike. Man, Mike, do me a favor, brother. If you're going to post in the education room, you got to write why. Otherwise, just take it over to Traders Chat. They know you're crazy. They love you for it. Thanks, man. I do appreciate that. I love your trades. Don't get me wrong, but you're just going to confuse the hell out of a bunch of people that are trying to learn to do it easy. Well, I know that, and you know that. But let me show you why, Mike, just so you don't think I'm being an asshole. That says up strong. Everything says up. Everything on every chart for the brand new user says up. What they don't see that you saw, Mike, was that that's a termination, that it's resistance, that there were multiple divergences. And because of all of these factors, that's where you're anticipating it going. It goes against everything that the brand new user learns. But when they see people do this in the room without any annotation at all, they think that's their trade. And that's not their trade, Mike. This is a byproduct of you putting in the time. This is a byproduct of you recognizing the patterns, 15 years of awesome, getting you to where you can do this. So just in this room, if you wanted to do it, if you would just do this for me. And I know you don't like to do too much typing. Price reaches resistance. 3 divergence helps confirm the top. Go short, stops behind the fib. Right? It's perfect. There, I can't find a damn thing wrong with it. But it's the annotation that helps out a little bit. Thank you for that. You're a rock star. All right. Adam, let's get back to the second half of your lesson. Sorry. I do get distracted pretty easy. So because the areas are on the wrong side, watch this. This is going to be the game changer. Because the areas are on the wrong side, I demand a reversal bar for entry. Guys, there's a time to use a reversal bar and there's a time to not. Adam, this is one of those times where I think it is your God-given right to insist on a reversal bar because you don't know which area is going to stop the market. Large chart is perfect. Small chart is darn near perfect. This is where that reversal bar pays huge, huge dividends. And that's exactly what it did over here. It was the exact same look. And because it was on the wrong side, that reversal bar is just Yahoo to the downside. Does that make sense, Adam? Awesome. You're welcome. Good stuff, man. And those are the little adjustments that you guys will make. And it's fun. And I love that Mike posted in the room because there really is a time where you're going to be like, man, this doesn't look anything like a high probability trend trade. And if you're a brand new user, your brain is saying, he can't do that. The trend is up. He can't do that. The momentum is up. He can't do that. Those areas are up. And then you just start reverse engineering a little bit and you find opportunities the other way. That's what trading is. Learn how to make money easy, and then you'll find more. Price reaches a divergence low. None of the triggers break. I'm obligated by the KISS plan to not look for an entry, no matter how beautiful the areas inside of triggers are. That's not my trade yet. Not yet. It might be coming. I don't know. Might not. We might be done. All right, 2 triggers through. Getting closer, right? Getting closer. The challenge is it's a weak top. So my first most important rule for the potential to break isn't met. It's only 2 triggers. The second most important thing I look for isn't met. Your brain is going to tell you, but the market has to go down from here. It has to. And it might. But it doesn't fit my plan yet as a brand new user because I want to optimize my chances of success. I want to put myself in the highest probability to win as often as I can so that I can be doing this 15 years later. Do you see I got you your little badge, Mike? I saw you say that. Triggers were down. Transition to weak side. There's your close below with tons of room to get back to trouble. Is anyone going to show me that short? Or did you talk yourself out of it? Yeah, you are, Trina. Manage your trade. Manage your trade. Stop talking to me. I get it. I'm a big deal. Manage your trade. You're in transition. I see trouble at 32. I see an outer band at 29. I wonder if it's going to get there. We'll just watch it. My small triggers are down. There's my outer band. My large triggers are down. I have odds favorable momentum. I've hit every area. That looks like a good spot to get paid. Now here's the question. Could it keep going? What do you guys think? Could this market keep going? Probably, right? Is there anything wrong with making $400 or $500 a pop, $500 or $600 a pop? Is anyone good at math? Did you guys know that if you make $100 at a time, 4 times a day, 252 trading days in a year, 6 figures? Mirror it on 5 accounts, same $100 a day, $500,000, right? I don't think trading is about taking every trade. This is my opinion. I think trading is about taking the best trades, learning to manage them, giving yourself the highest chance of success, not letting your opinions get in the way. My plan says, therefore, this is what I do. And it could run, Trina. It could run. We'll see. Can't wait to see that picture. I'm going to walk away for a minute. You're out. You made your money. Nicely done. Show me that picture. Give me some good annotations. Let me know what you're working with there. Because I might want to do what you do one day. I might try to be like you one day. So I'll be back in 5, guys, when we get into the last hour. I'm going to open the floor again. If you are sitting quietly, wondering why, wondering how, that's you. That's not me. All you got to do is ask. I'm here for you. I'll be back in 5. That's how you make the perfect trade look like you got out too soon. And then here we go. Long at resistance and triggers. And what happened? Run the fudge over. Run the fudge over. Did you get it? Oh, you made it? So you took the bounce point from 1950. So Mike went long here when he couldn't go short anymore and rode the bounce up. All right, I'm looking at what's happening now. I love that, Mike. I really do. And one of the cool things is you get to this point to where you say, well, every one of my rules says I can't go short anymore. Let's see if there's an opportunity long. And you don't have to. You don't have to be a counter trend trader. Some people are great at it. Some people are not so good at it. But Pete is another one of the people in the room. Pete will say, my rules say absolutely no more shorts. I'm going to find the long. Or I've got no more longs. I'm going to go find the short. Guys, that's what happens when you start getting good at stuff. 50-50. Saw momentum. All right. 50-50 when I enter. Just jumped in, right, Sergio? Just jump in. All the momentum. Nothing in the way. Jump the fudge in. And then when it starts back down, jump the fudge in again and find a way to go. Perfect. With momentum and path, find a way. Nicely done, Sergio. Sergio, is it a trend trade? Perfect. That's all I need to know. So you can't manage it like a trend trade, right? Beautiful, beautiful trade, Sergio. Miss Trina. Down, transition, split targets, pull back to resistance, close below, get one off at the HVA, one off at the outer band, and children sing songs about you, Miss Trina. Beautiful. John Novak says, if Trina can do it, I can do it. If Trina can take the pull back to the area, wait for the close below. That was actually the first one, right? John says, I like bigger moves. Let's see if they get to that high volume area down there. And they did. John, you only pulled off $6,000 on that trade? Sissy. That's just experience, Trina. That's all it is. Did you know that when you learn how to get paid, you learn how to get paid more? One of the biggest challenges is people that don't know how to get paid try to get paid more, and they don't know why. So, Trina, when we got to the area, I agree, Mike. When we got to the area, what did your triggers say? Everything said strong down, right? So maybe one day, Miss Trina says, should she decide this is right for her, I know this is my target. I'm up to a 3 lot because I'm amazing. Or maybe you say, I'm going to move my first target down here and I'll just drop in behind this HVA line. If it breaks, outstanding. If it doesn't, no big deal, right? If it stops, I'll stop with it. If it doesn't, I'll keep going. Is there something down there? Yeah. So that's where management really starts to come in. But what you're doing right now, Trina, is you're learning how to take the perfect trade, right? You're learning how to take the perfect entry. You're learning how to take the one with advantages. And Trina, if you go back, and everybody, ask yourself this question right now. When I follow the rules, do I win more than I lose? Is there anyone in the room that can say no to that? Mine's a yes. Mine's a resounding yes. When I follow the rules, I win more than I lose. When I follow the rules, my days are typically easy. You were calm before? I love it. So what's the flip side? When I break my rules, what tends to happen? And then going to channel my brother again. Mark, how many times are you going to break your rules expecting to win until you get sick of losing? That was the question. That was the lesson. How many times are you going to trade into termination conditions until you get tired of losing? The answer was a lot. To be honest with you, it was a really big number. I'm not proud of that, but it was. It was a huge number. Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a Y if you can hear me. Let's see if it's me or Morgan. Nope. All right. Morgan knows the drill. So guys, if you ever can't hear me, just go, hey, Mark, I can't hear you. And then I'll ask, and you'll see all of those Ys. And you know that you probably need to reboot. That's why Morgan said, gotcha. So what do we have? We have odds favorable momentum. The mid-band is not a termination condition because the large triggers are not a full bar away. I've got 3 triggers through. If I get a pullback, that mid-band is my highest point of support inside of triggers. It represents the point where the market is most likely to bounce and continue with the direction of the trade. But this fib, well, actually, that's the bottom of the triggers. My stop would go down here if we get the trade. You guys see it? First, it's momentum. 4 triggers through. Large mid-band is not a termination because 4 triggers are through. If I get the pullback, my rules say enter at the area inside of the retracement zone. If they get you, fantastic. If they don't, it's not your money. Does anyone have a question why we did what we did? The only thing that's a challenge right now is they didn't get us. Maybe they'll come back for us. What do you think? Does it guarantee a winner? Doesn't guarantee a winner, does it? Might guarantee an entry. They missed us again. Those sons of guns. The only thing, whoop, there we go. Stop's got to go where the market shouldn't. First target's 100. If I reach it, I'll go break even. That was a quick $125. That was it, guys. That's the KISS plan. That's learning how to get paid. Find your entry, get paid, go break even, see what happens. When you grow with the software, you might be back in this trade. Does that make sense? First, it's momentum. Then it was path. Pull back to the area inside of triggers. First target at 100, go break even. 3 divergences in the same price range says no more longs. Pretty cool, right? It's amazing. You know what you're looking for. You know what the rules say. If you don't, learn them. But once you have the rules, that's how quickly trading can happen. It's Friday. Here comes John Novak. John Novak says, check it out, everybody. Everything is down. From my entry, he has room back to trouble. Don't know why you took that entry. HVA. John says, with all the down, I'll sell an HVA. Let's see what happens. What happened? It worked. Ta-da! Experience. Experience. 3 divergences says no more longs. And guess what? Longs didn't work. Rules keep you out of a loser. Price reaches Fibonacci support. None of the triggers are broken. No short trades yet per the plan. Don't have momentum. No short trades yet per the plan. We're just waiting. Just waiting. John goes break even at treble. Nicely done. If it breaks, wonderful. If it doesn't, guess what? The worst he can do on his last 3 contracts is $427. Risk reward is very high today. Big bars. Big bars in the NASDAQ when it's moving. See bingo at divergence. You're going to 1825, Mike? We'll see if 1957 puts a flaw in the slaw. That's the only thing between you and payday is a big blue fib with every indicator down. You got momentum down. Price reaches support. No triggers break. I'm not initiating a trade, but if I'm in a trade, I can certainly ride that momentum. Man, somebody knows about that number. Somebody knows about that number. No, no calling shots. Don't listen to Mike, guys. We don't call shots. If the termination holds, just add on at the midband. That's a shot call. There we go. Momentum for the win. Always been rule number one. Don't listen to Mike. The challenge is, guys, is you're not where he is. And if you try to do what he does, you're not going to do it with the confidence. Isn't that funny, Mike? How long has John been saying that? I love it. I love it. Don't do what John Novak does either, guys. I can't tell you how many times I heard, but John did it. John's gifted and talented. So is Mike. And John, you're still in it, right? And now you've just got more HVA lines protecting you. Oh, and he's flat. The goal is to get paid. Nice trade, John. Nice trade, Mike. Hey, Martin, bingo. I never had a doubt. Did you know that I teach the room based on the most basic, easy, low maintenance, highest probability stuff ever? Not at all what can be done. All right, Mike and John, go to Traders Chat. You guys got to show everybody how awesome you are. Go to Traders Chat. Go show them how awesome you are. They're waiting for you. They called. Only 2 triggers through. Area didn't break. There it is. Only 2 triggers through. Divergence prints. Didn't break. Odds favorable momentum. Let's see what happens, guys. Only 2 triggers through. My rules say not yet. 3 triggers is my best look. This is where I aggravate my brother. He's like, there was a momentum trade right there. Yeah, but it's not on the KISS plan. That's what happens when you get good at reading indicators. That's what happens when you get good. Guys, what would you like to talk about? What can I help with? Nothing? All right. I'll just sit here until my rules are met then. We'll see what we can do. Only 125 on NinjaTrader. Up a little more than 1,000 on TradingView. Did you guys know that we've traded live every day this week on Simulator? And we haven't had a losing day yet following the KISS plan? Has anyone noticed that? That all week we have taken trade, at least 1 or 2 every day, that fit the rules for the KISS plan 100%, and we haven't had a losing day this week? No, Sergio. My youngest has my car. My wife's in Georgia, so when she's out of town, we let him take one of our cars. So it's in his garage right now. Because I don't need 2 cars, and his car's old, so why not let the kid roll around in something nice? It happened to you? That's all right. If you trade well, it doesn't matter. You just call somebody. They bring you a tire. All right, 3 triggers through. Odds favorable momentum. My rules say no divergence. And right now, oh, I got a little divergence potential. But if it's not true, Pete, JTF off. Odds favorable, 4 triggers through. Pull back to the area inside of triggers. What do you guys think? Does that sound familiar? Give it a tick. Boom. Stop goes where the market shouldn't. First target at 100, second at 200. You guys want to see if they just want to go to the fib? Did they put a bottom in? I don't know. We'll keep the first one at 100 and go break even, and then we'll use that idea that as long as it's left of the small triggers, if it gets back, we'll hold it. OG, Discord, do you have sound now, OG? And then no pics. One of the things you can do, guys, if Discord gives you trouble, reboot. Kill and reboot. They may come get us, right? They may still want to go down from the weak bottom. I don't know. There's my reversal bar. 2 ticks below the reversal bar according to the KISS plan. Whew, that was close. Thanks, stop placement. I'm just following a plan, Mike. I'm just following the most basic KISS plan, the one that's put in front of everybody every day. The one that teaches people how to put your stop where the market shouldn't go. The one that teaches you that it's okay to get paid, right? And if we get paid, if we make $100, we'll go break even. And normally the second contract would only be $200, but it's Friday. We'll see if they make the fib or if they ruin our good time. I'm on simulator. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It doesn't matter to me one way or another. It's either going to go or it's not. I'm learning. When it's all over, we'll annotate a chart, see if we missed anything. It's hard to watch that P&L go up and down, isn't it? Now a second lower divergence would be an exit condition, but it's not in the KISS plan, so we're just going to leave it. We're either going to get hit or we're not, guys. As you grow with the software, a second lower divergence is a pretty good exit condition. Maybe take a re-entry if your small triggers roll. There it is. That's why. John's going to get mad at me. Why'd you put your stop above the fib? Because we're trading the KISS plan, John. Because we're trading the KISS plan. And then as we grow with the software, look at that. That worked out. Retype your message. Retype your message. Because it was odds favorable momentum and a clear path, John. And all we're doing right now, and guys, this is where those of you with experience get driven absolutely freaking nuts. The KISS plan is designed to optimize your chances of success. It's designed to teach you to enter, to learn how to manage mechanically without emotion in a situation that gives you the ability to win more than you lose. The KISS plan is a stepping stone in your learning journey. You're going to grow outside of it. Second lower divergence is a growth outside of it. Divergence, even with the triggers down, is a way to protect your investment. But guys, if you can't take the right entry, all of this is going to be confusing as hell, right, John? What's a divergence? I don't know, right? Just take the right entry, manage it. Now it's momentum down. It's not a clear path. But that's one of the challenges, guys, is we want to be John Novak right out of the gates. We want to be MS Hunt right out of the gate. It's not realistic if you're learning something new. It's just not. Learn how to identify momentum. Learn how to identify path. Learn how to define a high probability entry. That's it. Those same three divergences that can stop a downtrend or or an uptrend as it did earlier, they can stop a downtrend as well. They're not guaranteed to. Momentum is down. There's just nothing to do right now. But it's not the one trade. It's not the one loser. Wow, Mike, you said they were going to make the fib. Did you mean today? We're still doing all right, John. We're still doing all right, John. We're still up 3,200 on the day. That's okay, Mike. The market was wrong. You were not wrong. But guys, that's why we manage. That's why we don't hold forever. That's why we don't say, well, the fib has to hold. The one-to-one has to hold. The fib has to hold. They don't. Right now, you're learning to get into the market. Watch this. Well, I was going to say until it closes above those small triggers, it's just going to go down, but it just did. We were going to see if we could learn that lesson. That's that jump the fudge in. We did that one day. That's why we don't take momentum trades from the wrong side. We did that one day just to see how far it would go. And it was like an $800 moment. But we got in on the wrong side of triggers. So that little thing backfired on me. But we were given a management lesson for those of you that are wondering what we're doing here. As you learn to hold for bigger moves, once you're left to these small triggers, guys, the market is obligated to continue down. And it doesn't start back up until the reversal bar. That's why your entries start with a reversal bar. So that you can make sure that if you do just jump in, you get out with that loss of momentum. Same thing is true here, even in short spurts. Until it got below the small triggers. Does that make sense, everybody? And then it gets back below and they start back down, and it just happens all day long. We did that once, though, to test the theory, and it was worth, like, it just never stopped. We found ourselves in the middle of a big runner, and it was kind of fun. Triggers down, second divergence higher. That's the lesson John Novak just gave. John says, for me, not saying you have to do this, no fighting the 15-minute, 8-3 fast trigs. You've done for a long time, 90% losers. Just better to go with the flow, John? Weird. Path of least resistance. Trade with the trend. Go with the direction. Don't fight. Follow the large crowd. All those things that we say every day. Guys, we still have like 30 minutes. And at this point, we're just rambling and confusing the hell out of people. So I'm going to stop doing anything unless the rules are met. That's it. Reversal bar ends the strong trending market. One-way trend markets are super tough to fight. I agree. There's the big picture for today. You guys see it? The cool thing is there was money to be made up. There was easier money to be made down. Renko bar really gives you the ability to find both directions. Trading view, on the other hand, fighting these rarely works. Been down for a long time. Been down for a long time. Triggers are down. Transition, I have all the room in the world. I need a pull back to something bouncy and a close below. That's my rules. What would you guys like to talk about? I'm going to kill today.